Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today, I want to address a topic that came up in the live chat the other night, and I hope I do a better job of presenting my answer today than I did then, because I just kind of rambled for like 10 minutes. But the question was, can landlords prevent you from exercising your Second Amendment rights in your own home? And by in your own home, I mean in the property you have rented from them. Well, there's two different aspects you have to look at here. There's the legal aspect and the philosophical aspect. In other words, what can they legally do? And what should they be able to do? What's my opinion on it? And I want to address both of those today to the best of my ability. Now, a lot of people would say if I say that a landlord can't prevent you from banning guns, I would be a hypocrite. Because I often say private property is private property. You don't have the same rights on my property that you have if you step a foot off of it. On my property, I don't have to listen to what you have to say, so you've got no free speech. I don't have to respect any of your opinions. And I don't have to let you carry a gun on my property because it's my property. Same thing with business owners. You don't have to go in there. If you choose to go in there, you obey the rules of their property. Like if they say no food or drinks, you don't walk around eating a hot dog and drinking a soda, or they'll throw you out. And they have every right to. I believe that 100%. I would never ban guns from my business. I didn't. In fact, when this insurance said I had to, I put up a sign that said no open carry with a little line and slash through it, but people could still conceal carry, and that was good enough for them because they didn't know the difference. But let's actually address, can your landlord prevent you from carrying a gun? Legally, the answer is, unfortunately, yes. There's only 2 states that actually prevent landlords from denying you your Second Amendment rights. And I believe it's Minnesota and Virginia. I might be wrong, but I think those are the only 2 that absolutely say landlords cannot ban you from exercising your Second Amendment rights in your rented home. Another state, I believe it's Tennessee, is one of the only states that has any ruling on this at all, but it's counter. It says they can. Landlords can ban you from having guns in their property that they own that you rent. And then I think it's maybe Maryland that says, or somewhere else that says has a real convoluted law, but those are really the only states that actually address it, those 4. Every other state legally just can, and there's no law that says they can, but there's no law that says they can't, and it's kind of understood that they can. They can tell you if you want to rent my property, you cannot carry guns on it. You cannot own guns in my property. And let's remember, it is their property, so they have rights. They have a right to tell you, no, you can't tear down walls and open up rooms. No, you can't even paint walls if we don't want you to. You can't take out the carpeting and put in hardwoods. It's not your property. You're just renting it. So it is their property, but it's not all that private, is it? Because they're actually surrendering a lot of their rights to you when you rent it. A lot of rights they don't surrender if they just own a shop that you just walk into. That's why you have a lease. I don't charge people to walk into my businesses, and I don't make them sign papers while they do. But when you rent a property, you have a lease. And therefore, you have a right to be there. Once you sign that lease, they can't just walk in whenever they want. They can't call you up and say, hey, my brother-in-law is in town and I don't want him staying with me, so he's going to be staying with you for this week. While, that extra bedroom you have, that's really mine. He's going to be staying in there. They can't do that. You have legal rights. It's your home. For the time you have contracted it and paid for it, it is your home. Now we get to the philosophical. Should they be allowed to, and what do I think? And am I a hypocrite by saying, if I say I don't think they should be able to? And to be honest here, I'm going to say, I don't think they should be able to ban you from having a gun in an apartment. Because like I said, That is not the same as private property. They don't live there. They don't operate a business there. They own the structure, which they then lease to you to use as your home. And just like they can't walk in whenever they want or shove other people into your apartment or, come in and, move your furniture around, I don't think they have a right to violate your Second Amendment rights. Because, like I said, they have surrendered possession of that property to you as long as you don't physically damage the property. Like I said, not the same as a business, not the same as their private residence. Of course, they can tell you not to carry in their private residence, and I do agree they can tell you not to carry in their business. If they put up a no carry sign in their business, to me, that's just a don't spend money here sign, because I don't have to spend money there. Now, if I definitely want to go in, I'm just going to conceal carry, and if they catch me, they can throw me out. I don't care. I won't spend any money there, but I prefer just not to go in to begin with. Like if Home Depot doesn't want me carrying, I'll go to Lowe's. I've actually got a video here where that happened, where they threw me out of Home Depot for open carrying. So I just went to Lowe's and bought, like the $8,000 worth of stuff that I was buying. And that's how I feel about the no carry signs on businesses, but I think it's their right. But like I said, it's different with something that you are leasing. It is your home and you should have all of your rights, all of your individual rights. Imagine, let's think about this with a different topic. Like if someone on the left says, of course they should be able to. Well, ask them this. Well, should they be able to kick you out of your apartment if you vote Republican? Should they be able to say no Republicans here? Because you have a right to vote for whoever you want to vote for. But do they have a right to say, I think Republicans are dangerous, or I think Democrats are dangerous, more prone to violence, one or the other, so I don't want to rent to them? Should they be able to do that? Should they be able to kick you out if they find out you voted one way or the other? No, they shouldn't. No one would agree to that. If they moved in and the landlord found out, they went to a rally, a gun rally, or they went to a BLM rally, and they spoke out against the government. I'm going to kick them out. I'm going to break their lease. Should they be able to do that? Of course no one would say they should be able to do that. They shouldn't be able to separate you from your rights because you are paying to live there. That's your home. They have signed the property over to you to a degree for a specific amount of time. And while you're doing that, as long as you're not violating the structure itself, damaging the property, or changing the standard of living for the people in adjacent properties to where you're making it harder for them to rent an apartment or making it harder for other people who want to live there. And even then, you can get into some murky waters. Let's say the person above you and to the left of you finds out you have a gun and they don't want to live there anymore. Can the landlord use that excuse to throw you out? Well, a lot of people on the left and the right might say, yes, if that's the case, you're hurting their business, they can throw you out. Well, if someone says that to you, say, okay, what if an Hispanic family moves in and the people above and the people to the left decide, I don't want to live with Hispanics? Is that a reason for the landlord to kick out the Hispanic family? Because the people around them are racist? It's hurting their business. Or if they're black or Muslim. Let's see who on the left would say, well, yeah, of course it's hurting their business. They have every right to kick them out. They'll say that for guns, for you exercising your Second Amendment rights, but they won't agree with it if you're discriminating against someone of color, and they shouldn't. They should not agree with that, just like they should not agree that they can violate your Second Amendment rights. Same thing if your neighbors found out, that's a conservative just moved in there. I don't want to live with conservative. Let's say the apartment buildings in San Francisco. Should the company be able to discriminate against, like I said, conservatives? Because the other tenants might not like that? I don't think they should. Do you think they should? I think that's a big violation of people's rights as a citizen. To be able to vote for who they want, to believe whatever political opinions they want, and to speak out against their government. As long as they're not actually creating a nuisance for their neighbors, and they're not damaging the property that they're in, I don't see how anyone could support landlords being able to deny you the right to carry and own a firearm. That is your constitutional right. And anyone that would support that, it's really easy to show their hypocrisy just by asking them those other questions I just talked about. Because I don't think anyone would ever agree that you should be discriminated about when it comes to housing on your race, your political ideologies, your opinions, none of those things. Not when it's your home. If you're not damaging the property itself or creating an actual nuisance, not just something that in 2022, nothing should be able to offend me, not that mindset. You actually have to be having a negative impact on their lives through actions you perpetrate, not because of things they perceive. So it's like if you're an Hispanic family and you're not loud and you don't have 8 kids, just because they're like, they're going to have 10 kids and be loud, that doesn't justify discriminating against you. So there's nothing hypocritical about saying private businesses should be able to discriminate against the Second Amendment because you don't got to go in there. But when it's your home and you have a lease on that property, you have paid that lease on that property, you should be able to exercise all your rights. And it's funny how the people on the left and some people on the right pick and choose which rights you should have, when that shouldn't be something they should be able to do. They should have to respect all your rights as a citizen because that's your home. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I do appreciate you coming, and I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, I want to remind everyone to always carry, even if it's in a rental property. I personally have never, ever signed a lease that said I couldn't have guns, so I've never seen one, didn't even know it was a problem, till other people start having the problem. But I say, no matter what, if it's your property, exercise your rights, and stay safe until I see you again.